Hey, welcome back to Exponential 2022 in Orlando. We're still here on the show floor and we're still doing many conversations with our partners, friends, and customers. And now we're talking to the first partner who is not on the hardware side. We're talking to one of our software partners. Here with me is Stefan. He's the founder and the CEO of Spleenlab. Great to have you here, Stefan.
Thanks for the introduction.
So again, we were talking to drone manufacturers, we have payload partners, and now we're talking about software. And I think for me personally, that's one of the more exciting sides of the whole ecosystem, because the exciting parts of the technology, especially when we talk about artificial intelligence or machine learning, are really happening on the software, right? So your company is all about this part of the ecosystem, right? So tell us a little bit about the technology and the products that you're developing.
Thank you for your introduction. We at Spleenlab, we have a product called Visionary AI, and our Visionary AI software suite enables automated processes.
Right.
So our applications do perception software that runs on board.
Mm-hmm.
It could be object detection, tracking, but also positioning, right? All the things we need to move automated in space where we have no GPS signal or other things. Right? We come from the automotive industry, where computer vision and perception is evolved to a certain state, but now we have seen the drone market increase tremendously, and we need something that helps to automate processes on board.
Okay, so it's all about taking data that is captured by sensors and then basically process it and turn it into information, right?
Exactly.
And this is not just to deliver to a, let's say, human consumer, like an expert, but this is also to integrate into the actual technology controlling the drone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's a good thing that we could partner with Alterion on the AI node. So we can deliver our software that runs embedded in real time on the drone, on low power consumption, and enable the process. And this is the real challenge, right? To detect the vehicle real life in real time and say, okay, this is a real vehicle, and then interact with the vehicle, right? Or simply give the information to the customer. And this is the challenging thing. So we're really focusing on stuff that runs on board, not in the enterprise system, really that we can make a decision on it. This makes the process overall safer, and this helps us really to move autonomously.
Okay, so you don't have to transfer the data to a cloud or a central system to process it. So really process the data on board, right?
Yeah. And this has many advantages. First, it's safer because you're not rely on a video link or a stable video link. Secondly, it lowers the bandwidth because you process the data to some metadata like a person or other vehicle or 3D map, right? And then you can interact with that. And it makes for sure safer. What happens if the video link breaks down? The system can on board react to a safe state mode, can do an emergency landing or all these things.
Okay, so you mentioned now the technology components and the benefits on the technology side. So if we look at the other end, the end user, the operator, so what are the benefits for the operator? Or maybe first, who are those operators? What are the verticals or the use cases usually using drone systems with your technology? And then what are the benefits of your software to them as a user of the complete system?
Was also the challenge for us, really to understand what the real end user has a strong benefit out of it. So we had to have a look at the market, what could be the use case. But everywhere where something should be automated, it could be VLOS flight, right? You have to detect air traffic, and you have to see if there's air traffic and interact, right? You have to lower the risk for manned aviation there. So you only get a permission if you fly long distances in VLOS. And this is the thing. So this is really the benefit. It's on one hand, it's a technical enabler. So we technically, with our machine learning approaches, help to automate things. On the other thing, it could be a commercial enabler that FAA or EASA really accept here that the vehicle could safe operate in a certain environment.
And I also read about this use case that you're describing where you actually use this detection in inspection use cases, right? So usually, I mean, even if we have an automated vehicle, there's still somebody controlling the drone. to inspect an asset like a tower or a bridge. But with your technology, even that part could be automated, right?
Yeah, this was one of the first applications we really integrated in the Auterion stack. Really to fly in an unknown environment, detect some obstacle or some asset, for example, a cell tower, locate where it is in real time on the drone, and then applicate a mission onto it. And this saves time for the operator at the end, and this is direct revenue, right? And this helps to vertically operate.
Yeah, this is really exciting. Absolutely. So if we take a step back, and if you look at the people who are already using the technology, or also basically the whole industry who is using technology like this, what are the trends, the requirements that you see coming from the end users?
Yeah. As I told before, right? There are two pipes going in. There's on one hand, everyone wants to operate BVLOS, right?
Right.
And here we have two entities who drive the game. That's the FAA or the EASA. There comes requirements in, so it's pretty easy. From that requirements, we can derive some system design, and it's quite hard, right? This one thing. On the other hand, people want to do simply stuff that makes revenue, that really helps to increase their drone business. Could be agriculture, it could be monitoring, and here we have to stack our applications into the end use case. At the end of the game, it's always some customization, but a small customization because we have a modular stack which could be combined. And we see here big trends in surveillance, in object detection, and really the localization of the objects, identifying objects simply in critical infrastructure and all that things. But on the other hand, really to automatically operate, like the automated industrial inspection, or indoor flying is also a big thing where we really want to have a stable positioning without GPS, right? Or redundant positioning without GPS is also a big thing, and I think this is on mid and long term the biggest challenge. Also, not only the drones, also the air taxis have.
So with your so you said you're coming from automotive. You came into the drone industry. You're gaining traction now. Now, with the existing customers, the requirements that you get and your traction, where do you see Spleenlab going in the next like 6 to 12 months? Anything that you can tease us or give us a preview of what we can expect?
That's pretty cool, and that's why we are sitting here. So really happy that we go really into series with the AI node, with famous partners like Quantum Systems, right? At the end of, and also others, right? We have partners like Aerial Robotics, who I can name, and this is pretty cool because until now the drone market was there for us, right? But we were on the perception side, we are a little behind because at first the system has to fly, now it has to operate automatically, but therefore we need flight hours. So now for us it's time to jump on this track and really to go into series. And this is really cool, and we see next year lots of drones flying with some AI functionalities from Spleenlab, and this makes me proud, but it's also cool. On the other hand, we also still operate in the automotive domain. We learn from that, and we learn how to make those things operating safe. But what we all know is there are requirements coming really to define how software should work in a safety critical system. But at the moment, it's not solved how to bring AI in such environments. Right. But with our knowledge from automotive, we try to be the first really enable an AI safe system
and apply that to the drone.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm curious to hear more. Thank you so much for joining, Stefan. It was great having you here.
Invited.
We're gonna have one more conversation after that, and then we're gonna wrap up the day, and we're gonna be back tomorrow. But there's gonna be one more coming up, and I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.